So much, Alex. Everyone can be seated now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, we are here at another Recovery Court graduation, and you know what I say? Well, first I'm going to say welcome, but you know what I say and sing. It is the most wonderful time of the year. This is our absolute favorite time of the year when we are able to acknowledge the hard work of not just our graduates, but the staff, the treatment providers, and everyone who's a part of their success. I want to welcome everyone this morning, and I'm going to just ask you to stand so we can say the Pledge of Allegiance. Judge, you want to lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Before we get into our celebration, we want to remember some of our participants that have entered their eternal rest, and we want to honor them by calling out their names and letting them know they have not been forgotten. The first name is Michael Harvey. Michael, we remember you today. Robert Mirror. He was in a serious battle. But Robert, we remember you today. Richard Dinnerman. Richard, we definitely remember you today. Walter McWhorter. We remember you today. And Patricia Napolitano. We remember you today, and we pray that your rest is peaceful. With that being said, the Rosa Parks Choir is now going to do a selection in memory of those who have gone on before us. Mr. Alex, if you could lower the screen and let Rosa Parks know that now is the time for their first selection.
She's going to tell me. You're lowering the screen.
Alex, if you could let them know that we're ready for their selection. Thank you.
Hello. Okay. Go, Ms. Thompson.
Good morning. My name is Nicolette Thompson. I am the principal of Rosa L. Parks School of Fine and Performing Arts. I would just like to say, on behalf of Rosa Parks, congratulations, good job to you all, and we have a treat here for you from our vocal students who are standing with me. Trust me, you will enjoy the selections from our students. And again, congratulations, continue your hard work, and continue to strive for the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosa Parks, Mr. Chapman. At this time, I would like to introduce our Master of Ceremonies, a person who really needs no introduction. However, for those of you who are meeting him for the first time, this is the Honorable Miguel de la Carrera, who is our Recovery Court Judge. And I'm just going to ask that you give him a round of applause before he takes the podium. There are many things I could say about Judge De La Carrera. However, the only thing I am going to say is that he is the ultimate fashion police, and our participants know that, and we welcome him today. Judge.
Thank you, Adrian. Despite our technical issues earlier, we got in one selection from Rosa Parks. There'll be another later. It is not the same as having the full chorus here as we usually do in person, but we're grateful for their participation and support nonetheless. Brief comment on the In Remembrance part of the ceremony. I happened to look at a number of our previous graduation programs last night. We usually had at least 10 people on that list. So there's the silver lining in it all, that maybe some of what we're doing is working to the point where we haven't had the number of overdose fatalities that typically occur. And one of those individuals passed away shortly after she was sentenced and never had a chance. Another passed of natural causes, just so that's clear. All right. I want to welcome everyone here, especially the graduates, their families, their friends, all the Phase 1 and 2 participants who are in court, the entire Recovery Court team, and our special guests, which include several judges. And to my surprise, the new director of all of the recovery courts in the state of New Jersey, Mr. Cornell Williamson, is with us in person. Okay. I'd like to begin by, there will be a lot of acknowledgments here, but the members of the recovery court team, they are 36 plus dedicated professionals who work very closely with our treatment providers, treatment partners. There are 13 probation officers to be named later during the ceremony. All I'm going to say for now is that they are the finest probation officers in the state of New Jersey. I don't know why, but I get choked up every time I say it, but it's true, because as many of you know personally, they go above and beyond the call of duty regularly. They are invested in the process, and it shows. Not just clock punchers. We have 5 task evaluators: Karen Douglas, Sarah Pesquino, Eden Wintan, Ashley Jaramillo, and Carolyn Madrevsky, and they do an outstanding job not only in their evaluations and reports, but when Ms. Bird had a bereavement leave, they took over placement of people, took over that task. They do, again, they go above and beyond the call of duty regularly. We have our 2 probation supervisors, Lydia de Blasio and newly minted Matt Coppola. I almost called you de Blasio. Many of you know Matt, who's been our team leader for 7 years now. Matt, as of Monday, is going to be with Lydia as one of the probation supervisors. And I welcome our new team leader, Vanessa Ruyan. If you could wave to the crowd wherever you are. You'll all be meeting her soon. Of course, I want to acknowledge the heart and soul, the institutional memory of Recovery Court of Passaic County, our coordinator, Adrian Bird. and you all know just how special she is. I want to welcome our attorneys, Assistant Prosecutor Nejla Atta, and acknowledge Patrick Breen, who's the one that most of you knew. I don't think Patrick's here today, but and our public defenders, Liz Walsh and Eddie Balkas. We have three writers of our sentencing reports, and they do lots of other paperwork as well, and organize our calendars and do all sorts of things. Brianna Rosado and Miriam Roman, and a new person, Desiree Elias. And I'm just going to say, hold all applause till I'm done, because I still have a number of folks to go here. Our three court clerks, Ajane Chapman, Doris Jackson, and Wendy Watkins. Our only sheriff's officer, those of you who've been around know we used to have two. I don't know why we got our ration cut in half, but Turk. And he's just Turk. It's like Madonna. Forget the rest of his name. It's just Turk. All right? Mr. Muscles over there. And also part of our team, my law clerk, Megan McMullen, my secretary, Nitza Fontalvo. And the team also includes representatives of some of the many treatment programs that we work with. These are the individuals who meet with us weekly on Tuesdays to review everyone's progress. And I want to acknowledge at least some of them. Mark Person from Straight and Narrow, Jorge de Jesus from EVA's. By the way, I had some contact this morning with Angela Terry, whom many of you knew, or know. David Tauber from Turning Point, Drew Burgraff, who's here from Northeast Life Skills, Ron Barovic from Options, Malcolm Glover from Sea Line Counseling. Oh, also Michelle Boyce and Kathleen Moore from Straight and Narrow. I think that's it for now. I also want to acknowledge other people who are crucial to the functioning of Recovery Court: Sheriff Richard Burnick, Prosecutor Camelia Valdez, Public Defender Johnny Cardona, Chief of Probation Dawn Moody, Criminal Division Manager John Harrison, who's here today, Assistant Division Manager Stacy Calta-Jerome. This is our third graduation since the name change from Drug Court to Recovery Court. As many of you know, perhaps not all, that's something that was done at under the leadership of Atlantic Cape May Visitage Judge Mark Sanson, who spoke to our graduates last graduation, or the one just before, I believe. As he says, the name was changed because we do recovery here. We don't do drugs. And it just makes more sense. All right. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our former Recovery Court judge, who will soon become our assignment judge, the chief judge of Passaic County, and who's also speaking on behalf of our outgoing assignment judge, Ernest Capicella. The one and only Judge Rudy Filco.
Thank you, Judge Della Carrera. So, welcome. It's good to see a lot of friendly faces. I was just thinking how long ago, and I counted, it was 13 years ago when I became the then drug court, now recovery court judge. We went through, I think, 5 or 6 of these graduation ceremonies. So it's really, for me, sitting there today, some of the memories that have come back are just amazing. I'm just going to start by thanking Judge Della Carrera. I'd like to really give him a big round of applause. I know this is a tough job, so Judge Della Carrera is completely invested in this program. There's nobody, I think, who could do a better job than him, so thank you, Judge Della Carrera, for all of your guidance and your hard work in this program. And I have to acknowledge Miss Adrienne Bird. So let's give her a big round of applause. I worked with Adrienne side by side for many years, so I know what she does. I know how her passion is with all of you in this program, and it really could not work without Adrienne. So Adrienne, thank you for your continued support, and you really have saved many lives, so thank you. And of course, everybody else, thank you. I'm not going to go through the list, but it's good to see you all of the probation officers. Here's just a fun fact. When I started 13 years ago, we had 4 probation officers. 4. Drug court was 2 days a week. We had 4 probation officers and 2 substance abuse evaluators. That's how much this drug court program has, I call it drug court, I'm sorry, recovery court program has grown over the years, and that's really a credit to Ms. Bird and everybody else in the county who has really worked very hard to make this really the model program for the state. So it's hard for me to believe how much time has gone by. I'm real sure. I just wanted, on behalf of all of my colleagues, the Passaic County Judiciary, Judge Capicella, who couldn't be here, I want to welcome everyone here today. It's an honor, it really is for me to be here today. I did serve, as I said, as the recovery court judge for about 4 years here in Passaic County. It was the most amazing assignment that I've had as a judge. I really did get a front seat. I saw how recovery court saves lives, and as Ms. Bird says, it does work. So that is one of my long-lasting memories of her comments. Graduation is often referred to as commencement. We read about commencement programs throughout the state for different schools and different programs. And I personally like the word commencement for this program much better than graduation. And the reason for that is commencement is a beginning. It's a start of something. And when you think about it, the graduates here today have completed drug court, or recovery court. I'm going to do that all day. But you now have officially commenced your life of sobriety. And I like to think of it as a commencement as much as it is a graduation, because you're completing something. You are now commencing on your life of, officially commencing on your life of sobriety. I wish you all the health and the happiness that you've earned through this program. I want to thank Judge Muhammad, the presiding judge of our criminal division, for his support. He's been a very strong advocate for this program, and I want to thank him for that. And again, I just want to acknowledge both Judge Della Carrera and Ms. Bird's tireless efforts. This is a model recovery court in the state of New Jersey, and I'm happy that continues. One last thing I just wanted to share. It's a quote, and I've used this quote before, probably used it in prior drug court addresses or recovery court addresses, and it's from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it's a quote that does deal with overcoming addiction. It really is one of my favorite quotes. Here it is. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Good luck to all of you. Congratulations to all the graduates. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judge Filko. Those of you who have heard me referred to as the fashion police from time to time, some of you may have even noticed a badge nailed to the bench. I was receiving indictments from a grand juror the other day, and so she was standing very close to the bench, and suddenly her mouth almost hit the floor as she read the badge and saw fashion police on this official-looking thing. And that badge was given to me by Judge Filko at a graduation some 5 or 6 years ago. It's because of our dress code and all that goes with it. By the way, Judge Filko led one of our most memorable graduations when he had Governor Chris Christie as the keynote speaker at that graduation. All right. I would at this time like to introduce our next speaker, the presiding judge of the Criminal Division, who has never missed a Recovery Court graduation since coming on the bench, the Honorable Sohail Mohammed.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Judge Miguel de la Carrera, Judge Filco, and everyone here. I'm not going to name names because I'm going to get into trouble because I'm going to miss someone. But it's important to recognize why this recovery court is so important for us, especially for judges. When I started in the family division about 12 years ago, like Judge Miguel de la Carrera said, I haven't missed one graduation. The reason simply being, when I come here, your story, graduates, are inspiring. We learn, and we cry with you. And those of you who were behind you, it's their time to celebrate today because they were behind you all the way. When somebody said, I lost hope in you, they said, no, we have hope in you. When somebody said, you are nobody, they said, you will be somebody. And today is the day that you're proving to everyone who had no hope that there is hope. And the recovery court team, starting with Judge Miguel de la Carrera and our division manager, Harrison, and everyone, all of the probation officers who work here in this recovery court, the best team, and this is Mr. Cornell Williams. You have already heard this, but I'm just telling you, this is the best team that we can have in the state. Our enrollment is the highest, our graduate level is the highest. So I am so proud of all of you who make this day happen. And for the graduates, today is your day. You have reclaimed, you have re-entered the society, and every accomplishment that you will have is yours, but do me a favor. There are a lot more that need you. So when you speak, it makes a big difference because you have gone that path. For those of you who are still considering, those who are still struggling, your word means so much to them. So with that, thank you all and congratulations.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'd like to invite one of our commissioners, Commissioner Cruz, who's going to offer a proclamation. Recognition.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. And this is a day of celebration. I think you guys could do better than that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. On behalf of the Board of Commissioners of Passaic County, I bring you greetings. Now, just before I read the actual proclamation, I'll just say a few words. Congratulations to the graduating class of Recovery Court. You have achieved a significant milestone in your life, as you should be incredibly proud of yourselves. It takes a lot of courage, strength, and determination to overcome addiction and successfully complete this process. As you move forward in your life, remember that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. You already proven to yourself and others that you have what it takes to overcome the adversity and succeed. Keep that same determination and focus as you face new challenges and pursue your goals. Remember that it takes one day at a time. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Lean on the support network that you have built during your recovery journey and continue to surround yourself with positive influences that will help you stay on track. At this time, I will read the official proclamation. On behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, whereas Treatment Court has been restoring lives and families for more than 3 decades, and whereas there are now nearly 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, whereas treatment courts are the cornerstone for justice reform, sweeping the nation, whereas treatment courts have served more than 1.5 million individuals, and whereas they are now recognized as the most successful justice system intervention in our nation's history, and whereas they save an average of $6,000 for every individual that they serve, and whereas treatment court significantly improves substance and disorder treatment outcomes, substantially reduces addiction and related crimes, and whereas treatment court improves its education, employment, housing, and financial stability, promote family reunification, reduce foster care placements, and increase the rate of addiction mothers delivering babies who are fully drug-free. Whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships, bringing together the local recovering community, human service agencies, and treatment providers. And whereas New Jersey has renamed the New Jersey Drug Courts and New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court. And whereas the New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court recognizes language can be used to combat stigma and discrimination and garner support for an often marginalized population. And whereas the goal is in New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court is namely recovery. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Passaic declares Passaic County Drug Court now be known as the Passaic County Recovery Court, and Recovery Court Month be established during the month of May. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Commissioner Orlando Cruz. All right, and this time I'd like to bring in our keynote speaker.'s been our speaker at graduations at least on a couple of previous occasions. He's a son of Patterson. He was previously at Damon House, and he now runs, I think it's called Men's Coffee Time. I don't remember his bio that well anymore. Oh, and he does our Motivational Mondays, as our upper phases all know well. Yes. Okay, Mr. Johansson, if you would. James Johansson. I guess I forgot to mention you by name. Thank you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, knee buckle. Wow. I guess retrofit just wasn't that good after all. So today we're talking about beauty and benefits in recovery. So it's an honor to be with you all. Distinguished guests, Honorable Judge Della Carrera, Ms. Adrian Bird, Passaic County Recovery Court team, clergy, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduates. Can we get up for the graduates one time? Last week, I went and frequented a spot. A couple guys I knew from Patterson opened. It's called So Fast on Belmont Ave. You ever been there? I got some oxtail and some Rasta pasta. Woo, that thing hit right. And it's great to be with you all today. I'm a Passaic County Pattersonian that used to be on P-Dope, that went to prison, then a program, then to the pulpit just to help people. And your story may have been different, but we're here today to celebrate not where we've been, not just where we're at, but where we're going. Because as long as we have strength and hope in our heart, we have a chance. And we're so excited today to be able to talk about this important day. This may be the first thing or first place these graduates ever finished, first thing they ever completed. And we're excited to celebrate them. So, beauty and benefits of recovery. I was known as the beast before the beauty came. We've done things in addiction that we never thought we would do. It took us places we never thought we would go. But now we're able to move from the cold, callous, calculated people that we once were to allowing our hearts to beat again. And we move from the beauty to a beautiful thing. Sober celebrity quote, Stephen King said, little by little, I found the beat again. And after that, I found the joy again. I came back to my family with gratitude and back to my work with relief. Queen Latifah said, I got arrested in 2002 for possession, and then I made the choice to get my life together. Jamie Lee Curtis said, getting sober remains my single greatest accomplishment. Russell Brand, the actor, said, When it started, it took one day at a time. Ultimately, I found that spirituality worked for me. Rob Lowe, the famous actor, said, being in recovery has given me everything of value that I have in my life. It's given me a beautiful family and an amazing career. T.I., the rapper, said, we can't fix what we don't address. Mary J. Blige said, believe in yourself when nobody else does. Kid Cudi said, I was arrested for possession in 2010, and at that time I was using both drugs and alcohol. I made a choice to no longer use, and I wear a tattoo on my wrist that symbolizes the death of my drug addiction. Beauty and benefits of recovery. There are 12 rewards to sobriety. First of all, we have hope instead of desperation. We have faith instead of despair. We have courage instead of fear. We have peace of mind instead of confusion. We have self-respect instead of self-contempt. We have self-confidence instead of helplessness. We respect others. We have a clean conscience instead of a sense of guilt. We have real friendships instead of loneliness. A clean pattern of life instead of a purposeless existence. We have the love and understanding of our families like never before. The freedom of a happy life instead of the bondage of alcohol and our drug abuse. So it's an honor to be with you all. I bring greetings from my senior pastor, Pastor Peter Bruno Jr., and we run a men's ministry out of North Helden. Anybody heard of North Helden? You might have been scared to drive in North Helden when you were doing the wrong things years ago. Come on, somebody. I never forget growing up, there was no White Castle in Patterson. 2 in the morning, I'm driving down Main Street into what city to try to get White Castle? Come on, somebody, you already know. Them murder burgers, man, they taste so good, but later on you pain. Surf and turf on deck. So growing up on Van Houten Street, anybody heard of Van Houten Street? 1 of 21 kids. Then transitioned to Belmont Ave, where I later sold drugs at and became my best customer in full-blown addiction. There was a church called the Pentecostal Lighthouse on North 9th Street, and they had a ministry that would come out called Youth Challenge, and that was my journey. And on March 20th, 1992, sitting in 3G3. Anybody heard of 3G3? Don't raise your hand, don't indict yourself. Come on, somebody. 3G3. At the age of 19, my veins had collapsed from shooting heroin in my veins, and I was shooting it in my neck. And I was ready. I had a praying mom. Come on, somebody. What's today? The National Day of Prayer. After this, I'll be going down to City Hall for the National Day of Prayer. Somebody prayed for you. They had you on their mind. The song goes, they took the time to pray for you. And what's the song go? I'm so glad. Woo! I'm so glad that somebody prayed for me. And people have prayed for you. Some of them are sitting right next to you right now. They've been on a roller coaster ride. They've been on nitro saying, I want to get off. I'm worried about that phone call. I'm worried about the bad news that may come when my son or my daughter or my husband or my wife is out there in full-blown addiction. But today we have benefits. He turned my mourning into dancing again. And as we move from being cold, calculated, and callous, and as the onion known as our heart is pulled away and we begin to feel again, and our heart begins to beat again, we begin to live again. I submit to you that all service hinges on your personal recovery. All service. What's your service look like? We'll be out this Saturday at New Barber Park doing a hygiene product outreach. Men's coffee time, come out, be a part, and let's bless the community. After that, I'll be transitioning over to North 1st Street where we have a community garden. Second year in existence with another organization where we'll be opening it up again for the community can have watermelon, squash, kale. So you can make some, come on, sofrito. You know about sofrito, right? Come on, somebody. Everything I reference is food, right? Can't you tell? Everything I reference. All right? So, Gandhi said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Karazin said, I would rather die a meaningful death than live a meaningless life. Oliver Holmes said, a mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. Joshua Marine said, challenging are what make life interesting. Challenges are what make life interesting. And overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. Bill Cain said, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Viktor Frankl said, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by the lack of meaning and purpose. I'd like you to turn to the person on the left of you and say, man, you look good today. You look good today. Come on. Look good today. Come on, you got your hair done, nails done. Huh? Got the high heels on. I don't know how y'all women do it. Kudos to y'all. I don't know how my wife does it. Right? Turn to the person on the other side and say, man, you smell good today. You smell good. Come on, somebody. You checking yourself, my brother, if you what you smell like. People looking at, do I smell good? Do I smell good? Man, do I put enough cologne on? Perfume? All right. So we're excited today for the graduates. 31 years ago, when I was facing 4 years in state prison, there was no recovery court in New Jersey. This is a great opportunity where people can get the support they need. Why? Because, catch this, accountability brings sustainability. When you choose to be held accountable, I tell people all the time, if you self-regulate, you don't need other people to come in your life and self-regulate you. And as these men and women have went through the process, come on, and the POs have endured with them the process. You know, we got all kind of excuses. One person said, how do you tell when an addict is lying? When their lips are moving. 31 years ago, everything was a lie. I even forgot what I lied about. Lied again and got caught. But as I was sitting on Belmont Ave, my mother would come through and take me and pick me up and bring me down to a restaurant called Woo Hop by the towers. Anybody heard of Woo Hop? Come on, somebody. Got some good food. And bring me back to the block because she couldn't control me. Today we are rejoicing not just with the graduates, but their families, their kids, right? Their moms, their dads, all the people that have been on this roller coaster with them. Beauty for ashes. And we're so honored today that to look at the benefits of recovery. Number one, self-respect and a better you. Respecting yourself. We have done things in addiction. We have done things in that road that nobody would think we could do. We have compromised our core values and beliefs. Many of us were raised right. But addiction has no boundaries. It will have you doing things, saying things, going places, compromising. But today we have self-respect. Come on, say with me. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Come on. I can't sing, but R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Hey, Miss Bird. Miss Bird is singing. I don't know about the rest of y'all. Respect yourself. The quote says, why are you flying with pigeons when all along you've been meant to soar with eagles. Respect yourself. Two negatives never equal a positive. My mother used to say, I don't need to know what you're doing. I just need to know who you're around. And I know what you're doing. They will get you sick before you get them well. Respect. And as they continue on the journey, the next one, it brings financial stability. They're able to provide for their families now, to show up and be responsible, to pay bills on time. Don't got to worry about the rent money disappearing and all the excuses that come with it. Next, healthier living and routines. All right, how many graduates like working out? Anybody like working out? All right, we got 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? All right, working out. Evidence-based practice. Next, boosted energy. Got energy like never before. Deeper connections, no shallow conversations. Now we're digging deep roots because accountability brings, oh, that's 3 of y'all. I'm going to go back and make some more Bustelo for myself and come back. One more time. Accountability brings. Accountability brings. Funk Flex dropped the bomb on them. Accountability brings. If you choose to be held accountable, tomorrow at 12 o'clock, I'll be at the Nevada Diner with my pastor, eating food and being held accountable. Who are you accountable to? Because now things are lessening. The requirements are almost gone. Are there patterns of accountability in place that you as the graduates can continue on to? Accountability. A happier life. Happier life. No more mean mugging. Smiling. Right? Happiness. Looking better. Right? In addiction, I thought I looked good. Man, I was tore up from the floor. Now you look good. Now you feel better. Improved brain performance. Now I can retain stuff that I couldn't retain before. And I understand things that I didn't understand before. Increased time. When we're in addiction, lifestyle, or usage, it consumed our time. And now we're able to have time for other things. Time. And last of all, you're able to discover who you were meant to be. All along. There's books in you. There's dreams in you. There's businesses in you. There's purpose in you. And now you're able to walk in your purpose. So we're excited today. Beauty and the benefits of recovery. No more being dope sick. Waking up with a bag next to my pillow to get right. No more lies. No more stealing copper. No more ripping people off. We're able to be what? An asset instead of a liability. A help instead of a hindrance. People used to run from us, now they run to us. And that's the benefit of recovery. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johansson. We're going to encourage Mr. Johansson to get a part-time job at the Eva's culinary program in view of his interest in food. I want to apologize to Judge Waldman if he's still here or had to go because I can't read my own chicken scroll all the time. I went a bit out of turn here. We're going to have another performance by someone in the Rosa Parks Choir, and we're also going to play a video for you which Judge Waldman stars in. Okay, but first up, Rosa Parks. the mic. I hope you heard me. All right. Are they dis- Oh, they do have one more. All right. Mr. Chapman, whenever you guys are ready. Okay. It seems like you're muted. Okay, we're good. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. All right, Mr. Chapman, again, thanks for your continued support. All right, we have one last musical item, if we can, hoping this will work. This is a presentation. Here you go. That's Judge Waldman, all the way on the right. Atlanta County, Cape May Vicinage.
Cried when you walked out the door.
right. Judge Waldman, are you still there? Okay, he was watching earlier. I had hoped he could greet everyone, but because I went out of turn, we lost him. But he is the presiding judge of the Recovery Court judges this year, and as you can see, he plays a mean guitar and sings a little too. All right. That said, oh yeah, raise the screen, please, so we can get our graduates up on the stage. This bird was trying to get me to cut out my speech, but I get paid by the word, so I have to do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be ready for the ceremony shortly. Some of this you've heard from other speakers already, but I'm going to share my own thoughts about all of this. Recovery Court remains the single most important and successful criminal justice initiative in the history of the United States. It started more than 30 years ago in Dade County, Florida, and it's been in New Jersey for nearly a quarter century. I happen to preside over the first Recovery Court graduation, drug court as it was called then, back in 2002 when I first came on the bench. We had about 6 or 7 graduates at that time, annual graduation. Now we do it twice a year. We have anywhere from low 20s to mid 40s. It's varied over time. During the pandemic, our numbers went down. They're begun to build back up. We have 29 in this graduating class, although I think we only have perhaps, maybe most of them are here. A few have moved out of state. We let people graduate in between the ceremonies, and some of these people, in fact, did graduate in court already, but have come back for the ceremony, and we're grateful for that. The whole concept of Recovery Court, it's an initiative which has largely replaced, in many regards, the adversarial system of trials, state versus defendant, through a collaborative team approach. Recovery Court's intended to deal with the root cause of at least half of our crime, which is substance use disorders. Recovery Court is a crime prevention tool. One person in active addiction usually represents dozens, if not hundreds, of offenses in order to feed the habit. Recovery Court is also an important public health measure. As many of you know, overdoses are the leading cause of death in the 25 to 44-year age group in this country. It involves repeated emergency room hospital visits. Before the pandemic, the stats were in the range of 70, 75,000 a year nationally, about 3,000 in New Jersey. In 2019, the last full year before the pandemic, the numbers continued to go up nationally. New Jersey actually had a dip in overdose deaths, and we'd like to think Recovery Court was part of the reason for that. But the pandemic caught up with everybody, and the numbers started spiking again. The last year we have stats for it, 2021, 107,000 dead. That doesn't count alcohol, which is the leading cause of use disorder fatalities. But Recovery Court has, through MAT and all of what else is involved in treatment, has had an impact for those who have been able to receive those resources. But apart from the public health benefits, the crime benefits, there are lots of other very tangible benefits. Family dysfunction occurs when there's someone with a substance use disorder in the family. Recovery helps reverse that. Families heal, trust is restored, child support gets paid, offenders become taxpayers and not tax burdens, healthy babies are born, and on and on and on. I have the privilege, and it's part of the reason why I didn't retire a couple of years ago when I could have, because this process is so meaningful. And I get to, as Judge Filko said, have a front seat where I regularly get to see amazing turnarounds in the lives of Recovery Court participants who had been written off by society, by their own families. I've seen people go from homelessness to home ownership just during their term in Recovery Court. People who'd never worked before, managers at their places of employment. About 30% of the people who come into Recovery Court have jobs. By the end of phase one, 90% of the people have jobs on the books. That's the reality. That's why you've noticed when we used to have, we don't have the same in-court reporting as before. As you know, we used to fill the courtroom every time with participants. Now we barely fill the jury box because so many of our people are working. There have been over 7,000 people who've graduated from Recovery Court. That's the highest level, the highest phase, if you want. We've had over 600 in Passaic County alone. And despite the fact that most people don't graduate, more than 2/3 finish Recovery Court. And that's a very significant accomplishment unto itself. I've seen a fair number of people who've gone to prison 5, 6, 7 times, graduated from Recovery Court. The pattern was finally broken. It's important for all of you to know, many of you already know this, but I want to emphasize it. Addiction is a brain disease. When you first use, it's a voluntary choice. After that, your brain gets hijacked by addiction. You become powerless, and your decision-making abilities are severely compromised. Help is needed to get into recovery at that point. And that's what Recovery Court is all about. Recovery, the important thing to know too about addiction is that it's a treatable brain disorder. For opioid addiction, it often takes as many as 2 years before your brain is fully rewired the right way. But in as little as 6 months of sobriety with all of the other treatment supports, big changes are notable in your brain scans and in your conduct as you get into early recovery. And that's why we provide all the resources we do between treatment, medically assisted treatment, AA and NA meetings or smart recovery meetings, which are going to be the key support for these folks who are now graduating, commencing, because that will help give the structure and support that keeps people in sustained recovery after graduation. And finally, I just want to share my thoughts on the most significant legal change with regard to drugs in New Jersey and several other states in the last few years, and that is, please, no applause, the legalization of cannabis. I've told this story at least once before, but I visited Watkins Glen, New York with my wife a few years ago to go hiking. It's a beautiful spot. And I saw a billboard called "Legal Doesn't Mean Safe." Like alcohol, which was the first drug to be made illegal back in 1920, Prohibition, then re-legalized in 1933. It's legal with certain restrictions, but alcohol, as I mentioned a moment ago, still kills more people annually than even opioids graduates do. Today's New York Times said it's about 140,000 a year. Marijuana, like alcohol, may not kill suddenly, like an overdose on as little as 2 milligrams of fentanyl, but long-term use can lead to addiction. It can affect brain development, cognitive functions, especially if you start young. It may increase your risk of anxiety and depression and even psychoses. It may affect your memory and attention. And it can impair your driving just as alcohol does, as well as damaging lung health, just as other smoked substances do. The legalization of marijuana was a complicated decision involving political, economic, and even law enforcement considerations, as was the case when alcohol was re-legalized in 1933 after 13 years of prohibition. Achieving sobriety is the first step toward the goal of recovery, and continued consumption of cannabis will not lead to sobriety and cannot lead to recovery. That said, let's recognize the achievements of our graduates today, each of them having earned that recognition through hard work and determination. Ms. Bird?
Thank you, Judge. And just so you know, I love your speeches. I would never want you to not do your speeches. Come on. You know, we're two peas in a pod here. Okay, well, it has come to that time in our celebration for our graduates to receive their actual certificates and their awards. And again, I say it's the most wonderful time of the year. I really just want to, again, acknowledge your hard work. I know it wasn't easy, and you made it. So now, the first officer that I'm going to call is Officer Masonave. Just so the graduates know, the Passaic County Commissioners also prepared certificates for you. They are being given to you as you receive your certificate from us. Mr. Cruz, thank you again, so appreciated. Our first person is Joseph Chichella. Come get your award.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I would just like to thank everyone who supported me this entire time, from my parents to Mr. Masonave and Judge De La Carrera, and Mr. Mike Lunn, who's sitting up there. Thanks for coming. And I just couldn't be happier to finally be at the stage of my life where I can truly begin my life now. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Mr. Edward Osterowitz. He's not here. Oh, okay. Well, we give him honorable mention. He wasn't able to be here. Next we have Brian Lamore.
Say good morning, and my name is Brian, and I'm a grateful recovering addict. I would like to thank God for waking me up. And I'd just like to thank the recovery court team, Judge Della Carrera, Mr. Masonavi. It's been a journey. You know, if I was 3 years ago to say I'd be standing here graduating right now, I would say it wasn't possible. But you know, lots of commitment. You know, I have a sponsor today. I go to NA today. I have a coffee commitment. I have a sponsor. You know, I'm doing step work. So you know, I'm just working on myself, and one day at a time, God willing, I'll keep going.
Okay. Congratulations. Remember that I left out another part of the recovery court team. We have interns this time. Luis and Melissa were with us today too.
Next, we have Officer Maldonado. Okay, I need you guys to turn it up for the POs when their names are called. They are part of this journey. Mr. Colombo, is he here?
If you have asked me 5 years ago, where do I see myself 5 years from now? My honest answer would have been, I don't know. My life hasn't been the easiest. I have hit rock bottom many times in the past, but I wouldn't change what has happened to me. If it weren't for those trying moments, I wouldn't be where I am today. Today I am happy, I am healthy, I am clean and sober from my mind and mood altering substances. I could sit here and talk about my past and how hard life has been for me, but I want to share how amazing life has currently been. I first would like to thank my probation officer, Ms. Maldonado, who has never gave up to me and always saw the best in me. I would like to thank the drug court program and Judge Della Carrera for giving me the opportunity to enter this program and giving me a chance at a better life.
Next, we have Mr. Lumar Grayson.
I want to thank everyone for coming out today to watch us graduate today. It's truly a blessing to be here today on the stage. I remember I was here sitting down watching and wondering why I would be able to walk on this stage as well. I made it. I'm proud of myself for the man I've become to this day, and it's been a long ride, a lot of bumps here and there, but I made it. I'm thankful for my mother and my girlfriend who always pushed me to be a better man. So I actually had 3 probation officers, but that's what I needed. They all cared for me the same. And I want to thank the Judge Della Carrera for giving me a second chance to see that there's more to life. And I want to thank my own probation officer, Ms. Maldonado. She's the best. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Grayson. You're welcome. Next, we have Jaden Manla.
I got sentenced to drug court 2 weeks before my 18th birthday. A lot of things led to my addiction that I take full accountability for, and I used to blame a lot of people for being an addict when the only person that was to blame was myself. Some people don't understand. Yes, we go through things, but it's up to us and our choice to choose how to react and how to handle tough situations. I became an addict at 14 years old, in abusive relationships, no guidance, and after those 4 years of being in an abusive relationship and no guidance, I started hanging around the wrong crowd. I had just turned 17 and caught a charge and was on the ankle monitor. Still not learning my lessons, 6 months later, I caught a felony that could have put me away for a long time. Then I got introduced to recovery court, and let me tell you, this journey was not an easy one. I had to actually want to change, and I did not give in so easily. I went to a short-term program, left the short-term program, it was on the run for a year. During that year, I got pregnant and had to really think hard about what my life was going to be like, especially having a baby. So I turned myself into a long-term program, and I'm so thankful for the judge for giving me a second chance. It took a lot of self-sabotage, heartache, sleepless nights to get to where I'm at right now, to change and to accept that what I went through is what I had to go through to be the woman I am today and to stand here right on this stage. I thank my higher power, I thank my higher power and everyone you see that showed up for me today because they truly hold a huge impact on my life to keep me going on an everyday basis. In the future, I'll be your advocate for those who are struggling with addiction and get them going with the recovery process. This program has truly inspired me to do what I want to do in the future. The income of this program did not compare to the beautiful outcome of it. I thank everyone who was a part of this journey with me, and although this chapter in my life did close, the next chapter God has in store for me will be truly more amazing. Thank you.
Jaden. Next we have is Mr. Tyrone Jonikins.
Hello, everybody. I won't be speaking long because of my voice, but I want to congratulate the celebrants. Ms. Bird said it was a struggle. It was a struggle. I had a hairline before I came to drug court. So, that tell you how that went. But I want to say thank you to Your Honor, Della Carrera, Ms. Bird, all the probation officers. I don't want to mention no names because, too many of y'all might have not. My bad, I had to mention her. But yeah, it was a journey, but what I realized was that when you get your present, which is like today, and realize that you are a gift, the challenge is less. So I let myself outside of the box, be admired, be helped, taught, laid down the right road, and this is the results of this hard work that I put in. So, with me saying that, and to the other celebrants, just keep your head above water and don't drown on land, because the land could be quicksand. So that's all I want to have to say.
Watch your step. Don't fall backward. Thank you, Officer Maldonado. Next, we have Officer No. We have an honorable mention for Mr. Quadir Sanders. He was not able to be here today. Next, we have Mr. Fernando Regoglio.
Good morning to all. This is evidence that I believe that this program involves an entire family. you are evidence today that we're all in together in this cause. The cause to beat addiction and the cause to celebrate a new life. I want to thank Judge De La Carrera, Ms. Nell, and Ms. Bird for all your efforts and your support and the love that they have shown all of us in this program. When I first came to this program, I kept hearing, and it's not a cliche, that you're not alone. And it's evidence that we're not alone. We're here supported by everyone involved in this program. The participants, the judge, probation officers, and the enthusiasm of Mrs. Bird. So I thank you all, because if enough for them, I would not be here today. I truly mean that. Thank you.
You are so welcome. We have another honorable mention for Ms. No, Mr. Gerardo Voglino. Next, we have Officer Pierre Lewis, who is not able to be here today, but her representative, yes, we have the supervisor, Ms. de Blasio, who's going to present Ms. Diesla with her award and her bag. Ms. Diesla, before you speak, Officer Pierre Lewis had a message for you, and I'm just going to read it. Yes, she's going to make you cry before you start, and you know I'm going to skip your first name. This is for Ms. Diesla. I wanted to congratulate all of the graduates today, but a special shout out goes to Ms. Diesla. She did an amazing job and fights very hard every day to maintain her sobriety. Most importantly, she keeps herself busy and has found great purpose in school and work. She is a remarkable artist, and that she is. For those who haven't seen her work, be sure to check it out. She's an excellent mother, and I am emotional right now writing this email because she truly deserves this accomplishment. You did it, Diesla. That's right, girl. No more reporting. I hope your family is here with you today and can celebrate with you. Make sure to come by and say hi to all of us from time to time, and don't be afraid to do speaking engagements for Recovery Court. With love, Officer Gloria Pierre Lewis, and she says, give you a hug. You want to keep it so you can have it.
She made me cry before I started talking. But good morning to all. And I want to, as always, first, my speech is a little bit longer than the other guys. So I want to thank God because nothing is possible without His grace. To the Honorable Judge Miguel de la Carrera, Miss Adrian Bird, and his teamwork, especially to Miss Pierre Lewis. I know that you're not here, and I see that you feel very proud of me. Thank you for all your support and for your good advisement, for continuing to give me the opportunity to regenerate myself, to be a better human being, and to be able to live as a decent citizen with desires of overcoming. Also, to my sponsor, Lucibel Almonte, they always was there with me when I was troubled. When I got to this program, it was for economic and health situations that came to my family. The time comes where despair overwhelms me and forcing me to look for another alternative to be able to continue being my family provider. I made the decision to sell narcotics, that which I denied so much in the past because of my beliefs. I felt in that moment of despair that it was the only option, and I started using my 12-hour shifts driving taxis to make my transactions. Being able to cover the needs of my family and seeing how much money was coming into my pockets made me get used to it, to that life, and it became my priority. Believing that I had the power in my hands made me feel that I was the queen of the South. And I diverged, I swear, God, and I diverged from the right path. And I forgot about my values, my dreams, the dream of becoming a professional. When I entered the county jail, I realized that I did not have the power in my hands, and that the decisions I made that day was not only the despair that led me to take it, it was the easy option, and it was also my choice, a choice that I made not to fight hard enough to preserve my values. On the other hand, maybe many of us felt intimidated when we started this program because we must comply with so many things that we were not used to, such as follow orders and doing things as others say, not as we want. Sometimes we think we are going to not to make it, but it all depends on us. Draw core those words, and it already has taught me so many qualities that I did not know I had, like determination, perseverance, commitment, and responsibility, but also to follow the path of good and demonstrate that I can reach any goal that I propose. While in this program, I turned 46 years old. I obtained my first degree in interior design, and I'm still fighting for my bachelor degree. Likewise, I belong to the Honor Society and the National Society of Leadership and Success, NSLS, which proved me once again that everything can be done. People already trust me and have put their projects in my hands to turn their houses into homes. If I could do it, you can do it as well. From my first speech, I referred to the decisions that human beings make and how in just in 1 minute, the decisions can change our course. I was incredibly happy every time that I was writing those speeches because of my face movements, that even got inspired sometimes by songs that talks about how the decisions we make from this very moment can affect our future. Do not think it was all perfect for me. I also made a mistake that took me down from phase 4 to phase 1. When Miss Pierre-Louis told me that I had to write a graduation speech, I started crying and thanking God for everything. I immediately turned to YouTube, and I did not have to look far because the first song I found was perfectly suited my situation, and I also know defeat many of you. This time, the country music singer George Jones inspired me with his song Choices, and it says like this: I have choices since the day that I was born. There were voices that told me right from wrong. If I had listened, no, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices I have made. I was tempted by an early age. I found I liked drinking. Oh, and I never turned it down. There were loved ones, but I turned them all away. Now I'm living and dying with the choices that I have made. If I had listened, no, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices that I've made. I guess I'm paying for the things that I have done. If I could go back, oh Lord knows I'm wrong. But I'm still losing this game of life. I play losing and dying with the choices that I have made. I had choices since the day that I was born. There were voices that told me right from wrong. If I had listened, no, I wouldn't be here today, living and dying with the choices that I've made. With each passing day, I am more convinced They each person shape their destiny based on the decisions we make at every moment, and that what we want to be tomorrow will depend on the decisions we make today. Besides, I made the wrong choice at that time, but now I choose to continue fighting, to live without dying.
Thank you, Tisa.
Thank you. As you know, people come in who speak only Spanish in recovery court. Apart from ESL classes and the like, I ban them from watching telenovelas, etc. Ms. Diesel spoke about 4 words of English before recovery court. I'm kidding, but, but not much. She mostly spoke to me in Spanish when she was in court at the beginning, and she's come a long way, hasn't she? Okay.
Thank you. Next, we have Officer Rivero. We have honorable mention for, Ms. Diesla, this is your certificate. We have honorable mention for Angel Diaz and Jillian Gasco, but we are calling Andrew Flores.
Good morning, everybody. I would first like to start by saying thank you to Officer Rivero for being there every step of the way on this journey. For me, she truly made sure that I have stayed on track, and honestly, I could only imagine how many others she has helped. I also want to thank all the other officers and the judge for what you do for the community. There's nothing more pure than giving others a second chance. And as human beings that have messed up in life, a second chance can save you from really giving up. I sure know that it has saved me. When I started on this journey, I was down a hole that I dug myself into, and I almost threw away most of my life due to mistakes of trying to get where I wanted to be by taking shortcuts. Through all my experiences here, from EVAs to NA meetings, I have learned that I am not alone in this journey, and honestly, that was something that really pushed me forward. Today, the marathon isn't over. I might be graduating, but this is just another milestone to a long race. Thank you for supporting me and helping me get on the right track.
Thank you, Officer Rivero. Next, we have Officer Rosario. Honorable mention for Brittany Ramirez. And no, honorable mention for Brittany Ramirez. We're going to call Samir, and this may be
Al Abdal Razak.
Thank you. This may be a first for recovery court. Samir has his family watching from somewhere, but it's international. We're going global.
Good morning. When I first got on recovery court, it literally felt like my life was over and I made a deal with the devil. I signed my life away for what seemed was the rest of my life. Graduating wasn't even a possibility in my mind. I thought the best possible outcome for me was maxing out or termination with time served. I've been on recovery court for almost 6 years. Yeah, damn. In that time, I caught a new charge. I've been to 7 programs, 4 VOPs, and a whole lot of jail time. Through it all, I was phase 1 for 4 years. For the longest time, I was waiting for Judge De La Carrera to retire. I was trying to wait him out.
I waited you out.
Yeah, you waited me out. I thought that was going to solve my problems. Because my mind, everyone and everything was the problem. Johansson at Damon House, George at Passaic Alliance, and you sent me on to drug court from probation. You don't remember me. You. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. I only held you for like 2 days. But through it all, and, I'm here. And I would have never thought that recovery court would have changed my life. Where I was and where I am today is a very big difference. I have my family. I have a business. I have a house that I'm looking to buy. I'm married. I came a long way. I tried to manipulate my way through it, and it could be hard if you get in your own way. You just got to work on you and just, let them lead the way, and they'll guide you. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Samir. I'm serious. Judge, he tried to wait you out. Oh, my goodness. Okay, next we have, Officer Rouse has an honorable mention, Jose Acevedo. Now we will have Officer Sanchez. And we will have Christian McGrogan.
Good morning. I don't really have too much to say. I get anxiety speaking in front of a lot of people, so I'm gonna keep it short. Thank you to my wife, my children, my mother, my friends and family who couldn't be here. Judge Della Carrera, Ms. Sanchez, shout out to Thorpe and Rouse, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you to everybody on recovery.
Okay, next we have one of our newer probation officers, Officer Stoll. And we are going to have Mr. Thomas Boone. Just put the
Good morning. I'd like to thank Judge Della Carrera, the recovery court team, my probation officer, all the probation officers that helped me through my process. I started this maybe 3-4 years ago, but I'd like to thank all my friends, my people that was in my corner, and my family. Especially I'd like to thank my higher power. I think also during this course, I lost my mothers, both of my sisters, and my daughter. And they're looking down on me today and with a smile on their face. And to the new ones, phase 1 and phase 2, I'm older, and it was hard having a felony conviction, getting a job. Y'all can get through this, get your record expunged, and y'all can make the best of your life. But I'm still having fun in my life. I'm sorry, I'm having the best life now because I have life. said, duck and dodge. Mr. Johansson said, we can do this. It's a new beginning. It's a graduation. You can accomplish anything y'all want. I'm just sorry some of the things I accomplished, I waited too late. All y'all newcomers, I used to think drug court was a setup for failure. Believe me, it's a setup for y'all to have success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have Jesse Seeger.
I ain't got too much to say. I just want to say that, oh yeah, outside of God, I just want to thank my family, and I got a few more people to thank. Mostly importantly, Judge Della Carrera, because honest to God, truth, he could have sent me to prison. Like it was in the balance, man, and I warranted prison, and he decided to go back in the prosecution. Man, I had my whole family in court, and the prosecution was like, this guy, he don't complete nothing. Every time we catch him, he just run and run and run and run. He making a mockery out the system. And I'm sitting there like, if judge just give me this one chance, I'm gonna do it. And I got it done. Thank you.
You got your award? Okay. Next, we have Ordani German.
Also known as Ordani Herman.
Good morning, everyone. Kind of nervous right now. Just, thank you, David Stoll. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Judge Della Carrera. Thank you for all those people being here. On the drug court team, Ms. Bird, thank you so much. And for those new people in recovery court, don't give up, man. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. Thank you.
Talk about a guy who benefited from not watching telenovelas. 2 words of English before he started recovery court. Wow.
Okay, next we have Randy Gervasio.
Yeah, I just want to thank God. Thank you all for coming out. I want to thank Officer Stowe, the judge, Ms. Bird. Yeah, I don't really got too much to say, but the officers already know that. You know, I barely talk, so I just want to say thank you. And yesterday was my birthday, so this is my present for me. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Don't go. You know the tradition. We do it in court. We do it at a graduation. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Randy. Happy birthday to you. Felicidades.
Okay, thank you, Officer Stoll. Next, we have Officer Thorpe. Woo-hoo. Okay, and first we have Mr. Jackson Cancel. Congratulations, Mr. Kensel. This is someone I remember from the newcomers group, and he said he was going to do it, and he did. So congratulations.
I really don't got much to say, but thank you for everyone for coming out. I did it.
That's him. That's how he was. Okay, next we have Francisco Alvarado.
I'd like to thank my family, first and foremost, the recovery court staff, Judge Della Carrera for giving me multiple chances. In the beginning, I was, defiant. I'd get out of jail and I'll do like the road runner, meet, and ready to go. But in the long run, little determination, dedication, perseverance, and that's how I make it through this process. And thank you guys for the support. All right. Thank you.
I know. Drop the mic. Okay, next we have Jorge Martinez. Woo, this is somebody who, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The stories we could tell, but he did it. He did not give up. You go ahead, Jorge. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Bear with me, I'm a little nervous. I want to thank everyone, for coming down and supporting us. And I thank God first, though, and the drug court team. And I thank Judge Carrera for giving me chances, and my probation officer. Thank you very much for keeping me in check. And Ms. Sanchez, I'm not going to forget you. I thought I was going to mention you. And the whole recovery court team and all the probation officers. I love you all from the heart, everyone. And I feel so good right now. I want to go to church. Love you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Oh, go ahead, Judge.
I've never heard him give such a short speech on any topic. So he must actually be nervous. I was expected to hear about his karate and everything else, but nothing like that today. All right, congratulations.
Next, we have Officer Wong. Honorable mention of Mary Ann Murphy, who was not able to be here today. We have another person, tell the story. Kyle Tucker. Woo.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to congratulate all you guys because, trust me, I know how hard this is. I started drug court in 2016. Another one, 6.5 years on it. First 2 weeks on, I went on the run, and was on a run for about a year, and decided to take on a train. And I had lost my leg in an accident. That's why a lot of you guys probably see me standing up, getting down, because I'm in a lot of pain a lot of times. But I'm so grateful sometimes that happened. It might sound crazy, but if that didn't happen, I don't think I would have ever set the wheels in motion for me to at least try to get my life together. I fight every day through it. I fight every day through my addiction, and it just reminds me every morning how lucky I am to be alive and how thankful I am
just won't, because you've been through hell and back with me with all this. Literally, this woman came out while I was on a run one time, looking for me on the street, and I was in a wheelchair. And the second I seen her, I took off, and I'm out. I'm like, you ain't gonna get me. I turn around, look. Oh, gosh. All right, we're good. She's gone. But like, she's an angel, man. Through all this, always asking me how my family is. I lost my little brother through this all too, and I wear him around my neck every day, and it just reminds me, Mother, how grateful I am. And my mother and my girlfriend here, Ma, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I'm so grateful for you. I have no idea. You're an angel to me. And my girlfriend, she jumped into this not knowing anything about addiction, and just, hey, I'm here for you, and I'm so grateful for that too. I'm just grateful for this opportunity. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
All right. Wait.
Mr. Mike, I forgot about you because I seen you come in late. Mike said something to me in my last program, my halfway house, and he said to build a life that you love living every day. And ever since that day, I've done nothing but try to build that life. And Mike, I appreciate you for that, because I don't take many things, but I took that from you, and it was.
Don't go yet, Kyle. Kyle. Stick around. I have to have Exhibit A here. I will forever remember Kyle Tucker speaking at Wayne Valley High School, sitting on the stage with 5 or 6 other recovery court participants, active participants. And somewhere along the line, we realized that these kids thought that they were like paid actors or something, intended to just discourage people from using drugs, just say no kind of thing. But when Kyle realized that the kid sitting in the front row had that attitude, thinking that he was making up the story about his leg and having awoken to having half his leg gone because he got run over by a train when he was shooting heroin down by the tracks here at Patterson. This is what Kyle did. Oh, can you do that with that kind of pants? He pulled it up to the knee, and everyone's jaws dropped when they saw this is not an act. This is the real deal. All right, great job, Kyle.
Okay, next. This woman, you must remember her name. She is destined to be on the runways of Paris. She's going to be a future hair genius. She decided to go to cosmetology school, and she did not look back. Sophia Despierenzi.
Hi. First, I want to say thank you to the recovery court team, the judge, my PO, Officer Wunk, and the other officers who I grew close to in this process. Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself, and thank you for giving me multiple chances to get this right instead of giving up on me. Next, I want to give a huge thanks to my family and support system. They've seen it all since day one, and they show me unconditional love regardless. They fought for me when I couldn't and wouldn't fight for myself, and they pray for me every night. And obviously the prayers went through because I'm physically standing here today and giving this speech and ready to transition into a new life. They say a miracle is a change in perception. I definitely experienced that very early on in this process, which I'm very grateful for. When I first got on recovery court, I was sent to program after program. I was debating on running every day. I didn't. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't want to face myself because I had so much shame and guilt, and change is hard and very uncomfortable. And although I was telling myself to run, my body just stayed where my feet were at. I stuck it out, and the things that I didn't want to hear were the things I needed to hear. The things I didn't want to do were the things I needed to do. It taught me self-discipline, which I lacked because I was so used to instant gratification. Nothing good comes easy, and that's very evident now. In these past few years, I feel like I lived so many different lives. I went through so many transformations, and I continue to grow and change every day. My relationship with my family was mended. My relationship with myself continues to get better as well. My relationship with God is beautiful. I feel blessed, and I feel grateful, and I'm so proud of myself. The past does not equal the future, and I believe that the person who I am today, my younger self, would feel safe around.
And we have Miss Marissa Mango.
Hi, how are you? Okay, I just want to say that I'm eternally grateful for my probation officer, Officer Wunk. She's been there for me since day one. And I want to thank the Recovery Court team and Honorable Judge De La Carrera because he has given me second, third, and fourth chances, and all his compassion and dedication is why I'm still here today. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I just want to ask that our treatment providers, please stand if we have treatment providers here. I know New Jersey Reentry is here. I know Mainstream is here. If you could just please stand and be recognized, because we cannot do the work that we do without you. We just can't. We really can't. So I want my team to stand, the Recovery Court team, because kudos to all of you. I know you've been getting kudos all day, but Recovery Court team, please stand up. You need your kudos when you're doing data entry. You are doing all the things you do. You're in court. Absolutely. And definitely to the stars of the hour, our graduates. The judge is going to make some final remarks. I just want to remind you that it's not over. It's just the beginning. I love you all and enjoy.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, now's my really long speech. Just kidding. Just a few parting thoughts. Everyone is just noted. These are commencers, not merely graduates starting with the rest of your life, but I want you all to keep it going. Not only doing your meetings, but volunteering. Be ambassadors for recovery. Speak when you have a chance to. Volunteer in community organizations, including eventually our alumni group. Be a sponsor. Work the steps with people. All of that will carry forward. It's your way of giving back, but it's also a way of sustaining yourselves in recovery. We're going to have some upcoming things which graduates can participate in. No date scheduled for one of them yet, but some of you, maybe even some who are here, know that we avenged our loss to the Union County Recovery Court from 5 or 6 years ago by defeating them in softball last year. And we have a tentative date with Morris County Recovery Court for another softball game. And I pitch. Not very well, but I pitch. Captain Masonave will get all the right players in place. And there's a hike coming up, and I'm hoping that a good number of us are going to join. It's a voluntary thing, just as is softball later in the month up in Ramapo. In any event, that is all. I want to congratulate each and every one of you. You've come a long way, and we're all very proud of you, and you're an asset to yourselves, your families, and the community, and share your success with everyone, please. Here, here.
We have, I just want to remind everyone of the event that Mr. Johansson spoke of. It's a hygiene outreach on Saturday. The flyers will be up here. For those of you who are still in recovery court, there are sign-in sheets that will need to be filled out to memorialize your attendance here today. I want to thank Mr. Williamson for taking the time to come out again, and to all our honorees and guests. Thank you so much. Alex, this will end our live stream, and if you could play our song, please.